Thanks for joining me today. Do you have any of those embroidered pillowcases, dish towels, or even doilies that are kind of used but too precious to throw away because one of your relatives or your friends made them? Then you want to watch this show. Welcome to Best of Both Worlds with Linda V. Taylor. When my friend Janadine brought me this quilt to quilt for her, I was thrilled because now I know what I can do with some of my precious things that I've been keeping actually in my cedar chest. And I want to show you how I did this. She so creatively put this in a quilt pattern. I'm sure you could put it in many different quilt patterns. But let's get started on this really wonderful idea. I think this quilt is absolutely fabulous. I love the way my customer has put old dish towels or pillowcases, things that have been embroidered. She's put them together and into this beautiful quilt. And I started with this was quite a wide border, and so was the second one. So I did a different design in each of those, which I'll show you on the computer. And then, of course, I did the smaller border with this design. And then for the sashings around, I did the point-to-point with this cute pattern, and it just went all the way across, which I can show you. But the little individual blocks with the embroidery, I am doing mostly freehand, although I put some things in that are from the computer. But so I want to show you how I'm going to complete that, and you can see some of these others with stipple and little feathers. And so let's just get going on this. I want to show you what I did. This is the pattern that I chose for the very outside border, and then I love this one. Both of them have been designed by me, and this one is this little curl for the inside border. And then this point to point, you see, I could go all the way across and adjust that as needed. And then for the plain fabric, it's not plain fabric, it was a pattern fabric, but they were all the same. I put this wonderful apple seed design in, and that left my blank pieces here where I could go in and do special things. So I am going to I have one feather over here, so I want to show you how I put the other feather on the other side. So let's get going here. And it's coming around like that, coming back over to the side. I don't want these to be too fat. I want them to be, make sure that I keep them about the same size in proportion to the rest of the block. There we go, and just one little feather right up here, and then I'll just go across the embroidery. Now, one thing that I am not afraid to sew on the embroidery. Most of the time I just have outlined it, and you can see I've just outlined around in some of the areas where you need it to be down. I don't want to go around every single line. I could, but there's just no reason for that. I like the relief that comes up, and so I'm just mostly concentrating on the blank areas where I can add some artistry. A lot of people are afraid of, going around the embroidery. You know how much work it is, but we can make it so much better. So this is cross stitch. And so what I'm going to do is define this cross stitch. And what I have learned is if I go around and do one side of it, and then I can come down the other side, then I can do that continuously. If I start going around right away, I'll get lost and have to start and stop. So this is a leaf, there we go. And I'm going to divide these little petals like this, and another leaf, little branches, and I don't have to stay right with them. I can sort of make them into leaves. I could even extend them out like that, which I love doing. Maybe put another one in here like that, leaf. And then here we go, we're on this side of the flower. Now at one point or another, I'm going to go around that flower like that and then back to where I need to be to finish the flower. So let's take a look at that. You can see how that defined that whole area. This was obviously a pillowcase, and I have some of these. I'm excited to make a quilt like this. I did use my pattern. Again, this pattern is from my Baltimore album collection. I love the curve that it makes and then fills it in so nicely with feathers, whether it's large or small. This one I use so much. I can't even tell you how much I use that one. It's so versatile. If I want to rubber stamp that, bring it down here, and then turn this, flip it vertically. I have an oval in here. Wonderful frame, and it works great on the sides too. That's the Baltimore album, I think it's 2252. And I have outlined the embroidery. I'm going to take this little flower, make some more little leaves here, and then I'm going to, I did it on this side already, I'm going to come in here and make some wonderful little feathers, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do at the bottom. So I'm just going around these little flowers and making these more into leaves and extending them out a little bit, filling in that space. And then I'm going to come in here like this. Make a nice little feather. Follow that back down, and on these parts, I'm going to come out and do like ribbons. Now, when you do a ribbon, you need to swing out on the upper part every time so it looks like a ribbon. So go out on the heel like that, and that makes a really pretty ribbon. So you have to make those lines curvy in order to have that ribbon. This little crocheted block is so darling. One of the things I wanted to point out was that I have stitched across both sides of this, because otherwise you leave some of that up. And one thing you don't want to leave on a quilt is something like a toe could get caught in, or something could grab it and just ruin it, really. So I'm doing two different types of feather. This first one is a long arm feather, and I'm just going to go across there like that, and then I'll come back. So I'm doing a teardrop, and then coming over like this and around. Down there, you have to kind of follow that up and out like that. And I can go back around here like this. I find every way I can to keep the machine going and not having to start and stop. This little block, I just went around the flowers and outlined the two little bears. It's the opposite of the no, no, no. This is the yes, yes, yes. So I put this cute sashing design at the top with the hearts in it. The piecer obviously had a pillowcase, and these birds were on the side, and she split that and put them together. I love that. I used this My Elegance pattern by Harry Wallner up here. I just thought that was so pretty, and a cute little sashing design in here with the two hearts. But now I want to put something in between for those birds, so I want to show you what I'm going to do. First, I'm just going to echo. I've already outlined the bird. So I'm coming in here, I'm going to do a heart with a teardrop, and then I'm going to come out with a little curl on both sides. Make sure the curl goes the same direction, and then continue to echo. There we go. Oh, I'm very happy with that. That's a precious little block. This is a beautiful little embroidered block, and there was nothing in this area, the underside of the skirt. So what I did here was a fill, and I want to show you how I did that on the computer. This is the fill pattern that I chose. It's number 401 teardrop, and I love that it forms a design just about anywhere out of it, and gets smaller as it gets toward the middle, dimensional. So if you have a design on your computer and you have gone around, I'm going to put draw, trim, and I'll just do that design like it's that little skirt part. There we go. And move my pattern over here, and then I can just see exactly how I want that pattern to look inside of that area. The rest of it I did My Elegance, a little tiny border around here, and just did some little feathers, and then simply outlined the embroidery. I think that's all this block needs. I love it. This cute little block there's a lot of the thread that is already worn away, but I could tell where it was. So, of course, I outlined it to make it look like it's still there, and then put in some extra leaves, etc. This cute butterfly, however, needs some work here. Let's put some feathers on it. That really helped, didn't it? Just made it the focal point. I'm not going to stitch anywhere in here because, again, the thread has worn off. So whatever this was dearly loved. This block I have outlined around. You can see how that just raises up those flowers. So I did go in between as well so that they just weren't a big block like that. I'm just going to add some more leaves, and as I looked at the embroidery on these leaves right here, you can see they had stems in them. So I'm just going to make sure I copy that. So if I come out here with the leaf, and then come in with some stems inside the leaf, and then maybe another one over here. You can't do a leaf wrong. Somewhere in the world there's a leaf that looks just like that. And I think that's all that block needs. This last little block is adorable, and lots of work, crochet, embroidery, etc. This is hard because this could so easily get ruined. So I'm going to go across right here, like that, and then I can come down here so I can start my feather. I will suggest to her that she might want to tack this down a little bit, because if this gets snagged, it could get torn so easily, and that would be such a shame. So for the rest of these, I am coming around. Let's see. I started out wrong there. There we go. right over to the little girl. This one's going to come all the way over, and this one. And then I just want to make it a little fancier, so in this one that comes over like this, I'm just doing kind of echoes, half circles, over like that. She is very elegant. In both of the bottom corners there was this crochet piece that was just tacked on. So I have stitched around it, stitched in here, just trying to tack it down with not losing the integrity of the crochet. It also could be snagged pretty easily, but I'm guessing that this quilt's just going to be sitting on a bed and be quite a treasure. So I used the floral pattern that I used in the sashings and put that down here, and then just continued my other design around it. But that sets it off nicely. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got some ideas that you can use and you were inspired. Good luck in all of your quilting. See you next time.